Hey guys, Neomis, and now for today's video we need to talk. Eddie Nketiah being linked to two Premier League sides. Also, there is a chance that Eddie Nketiah could stay under Mikel Arteta at the Arsenal because he's done so well in training. I will be discussing in this video. Also, Emile Smith Rowe finally getting his loan move to Huddersfield. Let's discuss now. And before I get started, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, which should be around here. Now, let's get started. So guys, big news, well, not big news, but some of the interesting news that have come out today that I thought would be interesting to talk about is Eddie Nketiah. Now, everyone knows that Eddie Nketiah has been out on loan in the first half of the season to Leeds. He's performed pretty much well based on the amount of games that he's played, minutes. The fans have really enjoyed having him there at Leeds. And now he's back at the Arsenal. And two Premier League clubs are interested in him. He's gone back at training with the Arsenal players. And even though he has the options of either Norwich or Aston Villa, and supposedly there's another Premier League club or another club that people don't know about just yet. So we got three clubs that are known in Forest, Norwich and Aston Villa, and another one that hasn't been discussed. But I think probably one of the things that we need to talk about is Mikel Arteta. He did an interview talking about what does he think about Eddie Nketiah. And he came out and said straight up that he thinks that Eddie Nketiah has improved massively, that he's become a better player, much more competitive, much more aggressive, which is exactly the news that you and I all want to hear. I mean, I've said it time and time again. Eddie Nketiah and Reiss Nelson were, as soon as I saw them play, I knew, you know what, like these are going to be players that are going to be playing at Arsenal. And I personally want them to do well. I'm a fan of Eddie Nketiah. So to hear this and to hear potentially he might actually stay at Arsenal, I don't know what games he's going to get, but we got to look at it in this perspective. So you literally have four options for Eddie Nketiah. First option, Nottingham Forest in the Championship. He'll probably either start at least half of the games that are left in the Championship, if not most of them, playing for Forest. Then you have Norwich, who are in the relegation zone right now in the Premier League. They have a striker in Teemu Pukki, who is a fantastic striker, knows how to find the net. And this could be a great opportunity for Eddie Nketiah to learn from a guy like Teemu Pukki in that squad. Whether Norwich stay in the Premier League or go down, it'll be brilliant for Eddie Nketiah. But the key thing is, will Norwich give him the games that are needed for his development? And to be honest, the future development for the Arsenal squad. That's the only reason why you want Eddie Nketiah to go to a Norwich. For him to get games. And it would be perfect for him. It really, really would be perfect. And the other perfect side would have to be Aston Villa. Again, Aston Villa, and for me, even though Aston Villa are near and much in that relegation battle, they are probably the best of a lot of the teams that have come up, except for Sheffield United, because they've been absolutely fantastic. But I mean, Aston Villa, they've got good players, and even one of their players in particular, England international Jack Grealish. You know, I actually, not on camera, have been even saying that if Arsenal were looking to rebuild their team, that Arsenal should really look at a guy like Jack Wilshere, who can play anywhere in the midfield and is such a real versatile player. He could add some real experience and leadership in the team. And Eddie Nketiah being in a squad like that, the harmony just is there. You know, they just lack the quality needed in order to take them to that another level. Could Eddie Nketiah be that guy? Because Aston Villa really and truly, they just need someone to score goals. They really do. I have this feeling that if Aston Villa had even a striker like Timu Puki, I think Aston Villa would be absolutely fine. But Eddie Nketiah going there, could you see it happening? Well, right now the talks are that these are the options: Forest, Villa, Norwich. Villa's a great club to go to. I know the history. We all know the pedigree. What is Eddie Nketiah going to do? Fuck knows. But this is a good position for Arsenal. And I really do hope that he chooses a Premier League side, because I want to see Eddie Nketiah play in the Premier League. And I know he will at some point for Arsenal, but to potentially see how he fares against other Premier League teams, that's something that, he's got to learn from. And maybe Eddie Nketiah goes on loan back out next season to a Championship side for the whole season. But this is sure to be a brilliant opportunity for him. So however much he goes, whatever he chooses, it should work out. Personally, if I'm Eddie, you go for Norwich. I like what Norwich are doing there, and I think to be, as if you're a young striker and you want to potentially learn from other good strikers, Timu Puki is a really good striker. And if he was in a better side, Timu Puki, I think he would score more goals. And I think both of them, if you play them two up front together with Puki and Nketiah, there's goals there. So let's see how that goes. And yeah, I hope it all works out. But I'll keep everybody posted on how that goes. And I suspect by Monday, we'll probably find out an answer to that. But finally, Emile Smith Rowe. Now, if you don't know, Emile Smith Rowe, he's been injured the majority of the season, and he's come back with a couple of games in the Europa League, but he hasn't looked like the Smith Rowe that we've seen in the past. In a way, like Reiss Nelson, he's looked as a player that just is a little bit out of his depth, a little bit uncomfortable, and going out on loan for me for his development is exactly what he needs. He went on loan last season to Germany, got injured there, didn't finish it off, and for me that just wasn't enough. Like, he needs a full season of playing almost week in and week out. And Huddersfield are going to give him that opportunity. Hearing the stories of them talking about Emile Smith Rowe, Huddersfield, they're happy to bring him on board. Supposedly, they've been trying to get Emile Smith Rowe into Huddersfield since November. And when you think about it, November was when Emile Smith Rowe came back from his injury, which means that they were probably interested in him back in the summer. They even said actually in the summer that they had spent a week at Arsenal developing those relationships and checking out a lot of the youngsters that are there. Obviously, it seems that Huddersfield are probably looking to build a connection with Arsenal, potentially to take on loan a lot of their young talent, which makes sense for a club like Huddersfield, really setting in those long-term plans. And Emile Smith Rowe is going to be a good part of that. And if you're a Huddersfield fan and you stumble upon the video, I will say right now, you're getting a really talented player, very much a creative player, can play anywhere in the midfield, can play further forward. Central midfield is really his ideal role. Central midfield or left midfield or right midfield are not, and I repeat, not as a deep line midfield player. That's not him, but more like a Guendouzi type, someone that can take the ball in midfield and drive forward. That's Emile Smith Rowe, and I think he's a fantastic player. I think he'll do very well there at Huddersfield, and I really, really hope, as long as he gets games, I don't give a fuck. As long as he develops and plays a lot of games for Huddersfield, it's all going to benefit the Arsenal. But guys, let me know your thoughts on what do you think about Emile Smith Rowe going to Huddersfield. Huddersfield fans, are you looking forward to Emile Smith Rowe? Like, leave your comments below. Like and subscribe. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Also, Eddie Nketiah, what do you guys think? Do you think Aston Villa or Norwich or Borough, or should he stay? Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, and again, and I know I say this every video, but thank you to everyone who's been recently subscribing. Like, I don't get much subscribers on a regular basis, like maybe one or two a week, but so far this week I've had was it over 10 subscribers, and I'm a small channel, so things like that do matter to me. But I just want to say thank you once again for everybody with your comments, likes and dislikes and subscribers, and I will see you once again tomorrow. Peace.